I want them to play like this is the World Cup. I want them to inspire. I want to feel like that this means everything to them by seeing them with
body language,
with crazy amount of intense sprints and the tackles and just that dog mentality. I'm not going to give up anything.
I'm your favorite Average to Good host, alongside my other favorite Average to Good cohorts, Tony Meola and Charlie Davies. Listen, so let's get into this, and I want this from the chat as well. Let us know right now in the comments. What do we need to see from the U.S. men's national team at the end of it? Let's reverse engineer this, okay? And Big Tone's coming to you. Let's reverse engineer this. How do you want to feel? There's two questions here, two-parter. How do you want to feel by the end of this tournament about the U.S. team? Which I assume is just the complete opposite of how we felt after the Nations League. and then what do you want to see? Because to Chuck's point, okay, we might not win this, but there still should be some things in place that make us feel good about the direction we're heading in. Take it away.
Can I do it the other way?
Whatever you want. Whatever you want.
Yeah. What do I want from the term?
Dunk on him, win. Tony.
Just dunk
I want to figure out how Tony. I want to figure out how to win a Gold Cup. Is that an absurd request?
Well, yes, it is.
No.
Is it like with this group of players that we have? Is that really so crazy? So what? Mexico is good. Well, guess what? We've had years and years where Mexico is good and we found ways to win. Now you got Canada that's good. Is Canada any better than any other CONCACAF team that's ever come out of CONCACAF? Like, are they the best team? I think they're really good. But are they any better than any other iteration of a CONCACAF team that we've seen for the last 20 years? Certainly not better than the best Mexico teams we've seen over the last 20 years.
Yeah,
so my question, my point is, I want to win. What do I want to feel? Well, of course, I want to feel proud of the national team and all of that stuff, because we were all part of the program. We want to feel that. But at the end, man, do we really give a shit if they don't win? Like that's what they're here for. Period. To win. That's it. End of story. Right, so you asked me, what do I want to see? I want to see whoever the captain is in the tournament. I want to see him lifting the trophy and all that confetti behind them. Period. End of story.
I'm gonna take a crack at this, Jimmy, and I'm gonna play by your rules. I'm not gonna dunk all over you and just reject what you want here.
On Jimmy,
I didn't feel dunked on. I didn't get posterized there.
Man, you're tired, Chuck, right today. You're getting tired.
What I'm gonna tell you right now.
Varsity jacket on, big man on campus.
Yes, I'm feeling my varsity jacket right now. What I'm gonna say is, first thing I want to see. How about not playing players out of position? So Joe Scally on the left and a Yunus Musa at right back. And I get there were injuries and you're trying to figure you're not setting them up for success. So positions, getting guys in the right spot, understanding
better coaching. Let me just cut through all of that. You want to see better coaching
for what Mauricio Pochettino is. Yes, I want to see better coaching.
The high bar.
A high bar. So you leave it out of the coach's hands. I would love to talk about, well, guys didn't do A, B, C, and they were all in the right positions. You couldn't argue about player selection. Everyone who was put on was playing, and there was a reason why they were playing in those spots, and it made sense. Instead of, okay, you're playing Panama, they're sitting back in a 5-4-1, super tight Christmas tree. You're not penetrating, but we're going to play two guys who sit back, who are not inventive, who are not dribblers, who are not breaking lines. That doesn't make sense to me, right? And maybe there's a theory of why you would do that, and the players just didn't execute, right? But I would rather see a proper right back, a proper left back, and then a number 10, somebody who can from the start, who's willing to run, to take risks, to take chances. So let's start at that, getting people in the right position. Second, how about we see more urgency? I want them to play like this is the World Cup. I want them to inspire. I want to feel like that this means everything to them by seeing them with
body language,
with crazy amount of intense sprints and the tackles and just that dog mentality. I'm not going to give up anything. If we feel that, then hey, that's what I was looking for. I think that's what the country was looking for, and I think the results will show.
So to add to that, what I want to see is some pride in the details. Some pride in, like, I made a big time tackle and somebody, like one of my pals is coming over to give me a high five. My teammates give me a high five. Like, that shit was a great tackle. We needed that. Let's go. Right. I want to see that body language. So yeah, I want to see that and I want to feel it too. So that's kind of where I was going. And Chuck, I appreciate you playing along. Tony probably should have went second so he could just hammer it home that yes, of course we want to win. But it's all tied up into that where the passion's there, the pride in wearing the shirt is there, the pride in the details, making the plays that matter. Obviously, there's the obvious ones. We need a number 9 that's going to take on the responsibility of scoring the big goals when they need to be scored. And then on the flip side, we need a goalkeeper that can make the timely saves. And in between those lines, we need guys that are putting fires out before they start in the back line, organizing, putting guys in good spots to make plays, and then a midfield that can create but also can break down and be tough to play against and dabble in the dark arts and know when to foul when it's the right time to foul or when to waste time or whatever it is. We need to manage. It's almost like we're talking about every single facet of the game needs to improve, which is scary to say out loud, Tones, a year out from a World Cup.
Yeah.
These some of the basic things that we're worried about is our energy and our attitude, which are all really controllables for our player pool. And then obviously, I love your point. Mauricio Pochettino, Chuck, needs to be held to a super high standard because the Nations League wasn't good enough. The more I think about the Nations League, the more I get disappointed with some of his decisions along the way.
And I'll add to that, Pochettino, no doubt, needs to be held to a higher account. How about we hold these players to a higher account when they put on a U.S. jersey, right? Because in the end, Pochettino, whether it's the national team or whether it's a club team, the guy's a smart guy, right? He clearly understands the game. But we all know this is about players that need to perform. I mean, did you ever go out in the field and you question the coach's tactics? Like, you didn't stop playing, right? You did not give all the things that you're talking about, especially, Jimmy, I played with you, right? So I knew if you didn't like the tactics, at least I knew what I was going to get out of you all the time, right? And
right.
Lump it forward.
Well, whatever it is, right? Red dot, green dot, whatever you got. Whatever you got, red dot, green dot. But my point is, did your attitude change because the coach maybe for you put the wrong tactics out, or you were playing out of position? You wanted to play on the right side center back, but he made you play left side center back. Nothing changed for you, right?
Right.
I mean,
unless you're angry, unless you're a little bit more excuses.
Angry. Yeah. But so I want to see all those things you're talking about. But in the end, for example, they didn't play well in the Nations League. They didn't play well against Panama. They weren't as aggressive as we wanted them to be. They certainly weren't taking chances like we wanted them to. But what I wanted to see was them find a way to win, because for me, good teams find ways to win when the game doesn't go their way. When the game goes your way and it's flowing and everything's going great, it's easy to win, right? You generally win. But how about when shit goes bad in the game? And you got to find a way to win. That's what I want to see.
You'd be bottom of the table, Tony, if you were a U14 in MLS Next, because your quality of play, you're down here. You know what I mean?
Thank God we're talking about the national team now.
The U.S. were bottom for quality of play and bottom for results. Imagine that.
Are we doing
a double red dot
for ratings? Is that what we're doing? Are we doing is that what we're going to do our ratings from now on?
Yeah, we're doing red dots now.
Red dots and potentially some green dots. And the size of the red dot matters. If it's a big red dot, that's not a good thing.